today. And if you will have any questions or want to speak live with Ines, please write down them in the chat. And after the presentation, all the questions will be answered. So Ines, good luck to you, and let's start.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. Sorry for being late. So my name is Ines Bugara, as Sir has already said. So I myself am actually a graduate of this university, BAU, which is located in Turkey. But at the same time, I'm an admission specialist when it comes to undergraduate programs. So therefore, with me right now, we're going to have both the opinion of an admissionist and at the same time, a graduate student or someone who has graduated from this university 3 years ago. So BAU, basically, or Bahçeşehir University, is a university that is in the heart of Istanbul, so the capital of, let's say, the second capital of Turkey. So BAU as a university actually falls within a big family, which is called BAU Global. Therefore, we have 5 universities in total around the world, while we have language schools and other schools, which in a total of 13 countries. And as a university, we operate with more than 2,800 co-op partners. And here by co-op partners, I mean firms, basically, corporations. Yes. Can you still see my slide? Okay. So at the university, actually, we offer you more than 160 programs in the English language only. Most of the undergraduate programs are actually just in the English language, while for other programs, when it comes to graduate studies, you'll find both in English and Turkish. So we have one global vision for all of our students to become global citizens between our branches around the world. Let's check together the map of BAU around the world. So this is Istanbul, which is the main campus where I'm at today. And then you have the campus in Washington, D.C., where students can actually study their English preparatory classes there, for example, or go on exchange as well. You have another one campus in Berlin. You have another one in Cyprus, in Georgia. And you have few dots over here in blue, which represents official offices of BAU, where you'll find official representatives there. So this is the map. Now, I wanted to talk a bit about BAU on a global scale right now. So when I was a student, one of the things that I had to think of when applying for university was its ranking, of course. So BAU actually is only 27 years in the education sector, but even though it hasn't been that long, it's been ranked between the first 151st universities when it comes to young university rankings, according to Times Higher Education. Worldwide speaking, we come between the first 600 to 800 universities. And at the university, when it comes to our student body, we have more than 8,500 international students coming pretty much from more than 127 countries in total, both from Latin America, North America, Europe, and Africa, and the rest of the countries. So in Istanbul itself, we actually have a total of 7 campuses. I'll walk you through each campus. So the first one, which is called Beşiktaş South Campus, the one in green right here, or what we call the main campus where I'm located at. So we'll start off by watching a video of the campus, a quick tour. Yes. Oh, so since it's a PDF, I guess you can't have the tour, unfortunately. However, what we can do is we can watch it together on YouTube. I'll share the link right away. Yes.
If you are curious about the future, meet BAU students. They are the ones whose imagination has no limits, who have the courage to imagine a better way, and the freedom to change what can be. They reach the future from the very heart of Istanbul, removing the borders of countries with thousands of international students. They make the world their campus with a global education network, starting their university life not only with their scores, but also with their dreams and talents. They study at one of BAU's 7 wonderful campuses in Istanbul, or take their classes to Washington, Berlin, Batumi, or Cyprus. They view Asia from the most beautiful place in Europe, with BAU's new campus and experience intercultural learning. They have the opportunity to earn a second diploma from abroad through Dual Up, looking beyond all that is known. They ask questions others do not ask, seek deeper meanings, and believe in the power of the word if. They focus on research and unconventional thinking, creating opportunities and solutions, and searching.
Yes, well, I wanted you to watch actually the video of the campus itself, but that's a global video. So I've shared the link with you on YouTube so you can check it yourself as well. Now, it's called the main campus or the South Campus for one reason, actually, which is because it has all the administrative units. So starting from the international office, where international students experience start at, which is where we're located at as admissionists. And at the same time, you have all other units such as financial affairs. You have faculties as well. Now, on this campus, you only find actually 3 faculties, which are the faculties of engineering and natural sciences. And then you have the faculties of economics, administrative, and social sciences, and then the educational sciences faculty. So through these faculties, we offer quite a range of programs, actually, starting from AI engineering to biomedical to molecular biology and genetics. You have management engineering, industrial, civil, of course, software and computer engineering as well. And then when it comes to the economics, administrative, and social sciences faculty, you have programs ranging from business administration to international trade and business. My program myself, international finance, international banking, psychology, sociology, English translation as well. And then, as you can see, for the Faculty of Educational Sciences, we offer pretty much 4 programs. But unfortunately, for this year, we only have 1 program, which is the English language teaching program available. And this faculty actually has 30% scholarship that you would qualify for, up to a 30% scholarship that you would qualify for the moment you apply for the program there. Now, in the slide right here, actually, you can see there's the law faculty as well. Actually, it's not under the same campus. Right next to this campus, 2 minutes by walking distance, the law faculty has its own building. So students of the law faculty studied there. For law, as you can see, you have the TR sign. You'll see this pretty much not too much, actually, the TR sign over there. It means that that program is taught 70% in Turkish and 30% in English. So that when it comes to the South Campus, just to answer your question quickly, our campuses like branches or different specialties in different countries like institutes. So in Istanbul, we have different campuses. Each campus teaches a different faculty, has a different faculty, different programs, as you can see. So we're going campus by campus. You'll know exactly what we teach in each of our campuses. But when it comes to the branch, when we talk about a branch, like the branch of Istanbul, the branch of Berlin, each one of them is a university itself. Therefore, each one of them has its own range of programs. Today, I'm sharing with you the range of programs offered by the branch in Istanbul, which is the main branch. I hope that made sense to you. Moving on. So in the same campus, actually, at the South Campus, master students as well take their classes here. Now, for master students, their classes are evening classes starting from 7 to 10 p.m. Therefore, they have all the time to work or do whatsoever in the mornings. And then all their lectures are carried either in English or in Turkish, depending on the program's language of instruction. So as you can see now, I'm going to show you some of the programs that we offer for masters. And here I wanted to keep some annotations for you. So again, TR stands for Turkish, ENG stands for English, T stands for thesis, NT stands for non-thesis, while DE means distance education, which means an online program. So under the faculty of and under the graduate school of social sciences, actually, you find these programs right here. So from acting to capital markets and finances, you have cinema and television, digital media management, executive MBA, MBA IT law, game design, gastronomy as well. You also find global affairs, human resources as well. And as you can see right next to each program, you have the annotation again. So for example, for game design, the program is offered in both English and Turkish. You get to pick the language, and it's only a thesis program. What's the difference between thesis and non-thesis? So a thesis program is a 2-year-long program, while the non-thesis program is a 1.5-year long program. So for the thesis program, the first year you only have courses, again, evening classes, and then in the second year you have to write your thesis along with your supervisor. While for non-thesis programs, you have the first year for your classes, evening classes again, and then in the last semester that's left, you're supposed to have a project, and that's the non-thesis. So for example, again, for global affairs, for example, it's offered only in English, but it's offered both as a thesis program and non-thesis program. Moving on to the other graduates, to the same graduate school, social sciences. So again, there's philosophy, marketing, communications, and public relations, and others. And then under the Graduate School of Natural and Applied Sciences, you'll find architecture, AI, aviation management, big data analytics and management. You also find bioengineering, computer engineering, cybersecurity as well, offered both as a thesis and non-thesis program. You also find electronic, energy systems, operations and technologies, and many more. So these are the programs offered under the Natural and Applied Sciences graduate school. For the health sciences one, you have chiropractic, family counseling, neuroscience, nutrition, dietetics, physiotherapy and rehabilitation as well, sports management, sports nutrition, and sports physiotherapy offered as well. Again, for the annotations right here, most of these programs are offered in the Turkish language, while you have neuroscience and physiotherapy in English as thesis and non-thesis as thesis programs actually. Yes. So for the educational sciences graduate school, though, we only offer the English language education program in English, obviously, and both as a non-thesis program and a thesis program. And under this graduate school, we have online programs that are listed down there. Yes. So to answer another question of a student, can undergraduate students spend the semester at valuable campuses in the US or Germany without additional tuition fees? Is there a program similar to Erasmus among BAU campuses? Actually, the answer would be yes. It is a yes. Actually, I will be coming to these points. I'll tell you all about the exchange programs and the international opportunities that we offer at the university. So for master's students, though, we offer a scholarship. So let's talk first of all about tuition fees. So if it's a thesis program, the tuition fee is $14,000 for the whole program, which is paid in 3 installments. And then you have for non-thesis programs, the tuition fee is $12,000 for the entire 1.5-year program, again paid in 3 installments. By installment, basically, by the start of each semester for the first 3 semesters, if it makes sense to you. So for master's programs, actually, if you have a GPA that is over 2.5 out of 4 in your bachelor degree, you're eligible for the 25% scholarship, which leaves the price of the 14th and thesis programs to $10,500, while non-thesis programs are no longer $12,000, but actually $9,000, again, payable in 3 installments. So for a clinical psychology, though, its fee is different. It's $18,000, while for executive MBA, it is $18,000, but distance programs are $7,000 only. What are distance learning programs? Can you take them while studying at a university in another country? For distance learning programs, actually, you don't have to be in Turkey. You can be anywhere, actually. So for the distance ones, so far we offer these, which are English language education, global politics, and international relations, human resources management, instructional technologies, marketing, and MBA. Again, if you, as you can see, all of them are non-thesis programs, by the way. That's one of the perks of the distance learning programs. Yes. Now that we talked about scholarship opportunities, actually, I would like to move to the second campus, which is the North Campus. Again, we're still in Istanbul, 5 to 10 minutes away from the South Campus, the campus we've been talking about by walking distance. It is mainly known for the Faculty of Architecture and Design. However, there are plenty of other faculties in the same campus. So under this faculty, you'll be finding programs such as architecture, interior design, interior architecture, and environmental design, as well as our newest addition, which is fashion design and textile. So these are the programs under the architecture and design faculty, while in the same campus, students of the applied sciences faculties as well study there. So under this faculty, we only offer 2 programs actually, which are 1, gastronomy and culinary art, and actually it's a 4-year-long program, again in English, as long as you don't see the TR sign. And right next to the campus, they have the restaurant in which they operate at. And most of our biggest events, we hold them at that restaurant. At the same time, you find the pilotage program, which is a 4-year-long program. Students will be studying their theoretical courses in this campus, while at the same time they'll be doing their flight trainings elsewhere, and the university takes care of that. That's why it has a double fee, as you can see over here, under the gastronomy and culinary art program. Now, the third faculty that we have in that campus is actually the health sciences faculty, which is ranked 401st worldwide speaking. And this faculty as well qualifies for the 30% up to a 30% scholarship, actually. So under it, you'll find nursing, both in English and Turkish, nutrition, dietetics, again, both in both languages, physiotherapy and rehabilitation, and audiology as well. Audiology is pretty much the only program that is taught 100% in the Turkish language under the health sciences faculty. Moving on to this is my second favorite campus, yes, which is the Galata campus. It's named Galata because from the last floor, you can actually see the Galata Tower, which is one of the monuments of Istanbul. But at the same time, what I love about it is the fact that it holds only one faculty, which is called the communication faculty. And I tend to call these students the creative minds because they are always dealing with digital design, movies, advertising, cartoon and animation. For example, one of the programs is film and television, digital game design. You have new media, which is like journalism with digitalization of things, for example. You also have public relations and publicity, mainly known as PR and publicity. Yes. And these programs, all of them, again, qualify up to the 30% scholarship. So the fee will be no longer 8,500, but depending on your academics, your fee will be changing, and you can get a scholarship up to 30%. So Pavlo has said, can you tell us more about scholarships to reduce tuition fees and their conditions for foreigners? Actually, when it comes to scholarships, other than the master's programs that I have already mentioned, so scholarships, as we're going, I'm actually telling you which programs we are offering scholarships to, which are pretty much programs under the Faculty of Communication, the Faculty of Health Sciences, Educational Sciences, the next one as well, which is the Conservatory faculty, as well as the program of Gastronomy and Culinary Arts. So all of these programs that are under these faculties, they qualify up to a 30% scholarship based on your academics when you apply. For the rest of the programs, we offer what is called an Academic Achievement Award, given after 1 year of studies at BAU for first and second ranking students. And I'll be telling you more about this as we're going, actually. So yeah, so that's for the Galata campus. And then actually before the last floor, they even have a floor that is full of incubators, firms they're working, so students can actually have job opportunities or part-time job opportunities there, or networking opportunity, as I like to say it. The third campus right now is the Conservatory campus. Again, as you can see with the arrow, it's still up to 30% scholarship. This is the original fee. After the scholarship, of course, the fee will be changing. We only offer 3 programs under the Conservatory faculty, which are music, performing arts, and music technologies. The 3 of them are taught 70% in Turkish and 30% in English. Moving on, so here I'll be telling you actually about our my favorite programs actually at the university. So actually for medicine, for example, for medical school, it has its own campus in the Asian side of Istanbul. Some of you might know that Istanbul has both a European side and an Asian side. So medicine is the only program that is taught at the Asian side in Göztepe Kadıköy. They have their own faculty, next to which they have the medical hospital in which they'll be working at, starting from the 4th year till the end of the studies. So the medicine program is a 6-year-long program taught 100% in English. And what is nice about it is the fact that we offer students both the Turkish and the American program. So students, by the end of their studies, they can take the USMLE exam, which is the board exam of the US, and complete their studies there, or practice medicine there. So there is that. For other countries, students can already go ahead and work with their diplomas, since a BAU is accredited both in Europe and the rest of the countries. So dentistry right now, though, dentistry is a 5-year-long program, not like medicine. Medicine is 6. So for dentistry, we go back to the European side, again, in the same region of the South Campus in Beşiktaş. Students have their own faculties, above which they'll be finding their dental hospital, where they'll be working there as well for the 5 years of studies. So it's, again, 100% in English as well. While pharmacy, though, it is taught between 2 campuses, which are the South Campus and the North Campus. In the South Campus, they take their laboratory work, let's say, or their practical work, while in the North Campus, they do all their theoretical courses there. So these campuses are only 5 minutes away by walking distance. Therefore, it's very easy for pharmacy students to go. And for pharmacy, again, it's a 5-year-long program in English. Yes. So that's for pharmacy. The last and the newest campus for now, which is the Future Campus, actually. The name is Future Campus because of how futuristic it is, actually. So, for example, sorry, Marianne said, regarding medical programs, are there any restrictions or specifics for foreign applicants from outside the EU? Actually, what we ask for are your, I didn't get what you meant by restrictions or specifics, but in general, anyone can apply for the university, and then us as admission specialists in the faculties, well, for medicine especially and medical programs, it's the faculties who evaluate your applications. Therefore, since applications are free, you can go ahead and apply, and then you'll find out if there's anything missing or anything needed, or if you are actually eligible to apply. Alex, yes, the program is taught 100% in English, yes. So for the Future Campus, which is our last campus, and with this one, I'll be closing our tour for today. So it's, like I said, it's called Future Campus because of how futuristic it is. It's basically the technology park of BEU. Over there, you'll be finding innovation entrepreneurship centers. You'll find cybersecurity centers, blockchain centers, and also it's the only campus in which students of the English preparatory faculty will be studying there. So as I mentioned in the beginning, if students are studying an English preparatory course, they have actually the choice to either study in the Future Campus or in our branch in Washington, D.C. So yeah, and it's the only campus in which we offer our dormitory option or our housing option, and only the students of the English prep school can live there. Yes. Actually, this campus, by the way, is very close to the airport. So if you were ever traveling to Turkey, you could actually check it while you're going by the bus or any other form of transportation. Now, yes, so a student actually asked already about scholarships. So to summarize it, actually, when it comes to scholarships, again, these are you can go ahead and take a screenshot. These are the programs that we offer up to a 30% scholarship, which is called the faculty scholarship. So the moment you apply for these programs, which again are listed under the faculties of health sciences, educational sciences, communication, and you have the program of gastronomy and culinary arts and the faculty of conservatory. So if you're applying to any of these programs, you'll be automatically considered for the scholarship, and based on your academics results, you basically can get the highest scholarship. So at the same time, again, for the rest of the programs, like I said, we offer the Academic Achievement Award, which is a grant given to students after spending at least a year at the university. At the end of each year, the faculties announce who's first and second ranking students, and these get the Academic Achievement Award. At the same time, as opportunities or scholarships, at BEU, actually, students have the opportunity to get double majors and minors. So for double majors, for example, the student just has to finish 1 year and get up more than 3 out of 4 of a GPA in order to get a double major, while for a minor, only needs to have a minimum of a 2.5 out of 4. If a student is outstanding or has a minimum of 3 out of 4, he can actually apply for a double major and a minor and graduate with more than 1 diploma. At the same time, as if both two students, or we also offer the sibling scholarship. So let's say if you and your sibling are both studying at the undergraduate level at the university, both of you will be entitled to a 10% discount each. So that's the sibling scholarship. Yes. Moving on. So at first, when we first started, I told you that BEU works closely with more than 2,800 co-op partners, which I explained by saying firms or corporations. Actually, right now, I'll explain it to you more. And this is the thing that I loved the most and enjoyed the most when I was a student at the university. So, for example, Co-op over here is actually a career center that is located at the South Campus or the main campus. And the moment that you actually register, sends you out a bunch of emails about open job opportunities, whether they are part-time, full-time, internship level, how to apply, the required documents. They also help you out to complete these documents. And at the same time, they do other things, of course, like bringing CEOs and people from the different aspects and different careers to talk about their careers for students to gain from their insights. And at the same time, what I believe is the most important thing and how I landed my first job in Turkey was their branded courses. So what does a branded course mean, actually? So at BEU, starting from your second year, you'll get to pick your courses. Meaning, let's say, for example, you have 8 courses in total. 5 of them are mandatory. You can only pick their timing, let's say. And you have 3 that are electives, or basically, electives. So among these electives, you'll find courses from other programs, which you can pick. You can find courses from different faculties. You can find music, theater, and so on. Languages as well, like German, Spanish, Chinese, Russian, and so on. But you also find courses that are named with the code COOP right here. So you'll find, for example, COOP, 2 points, sustainable management, United Nations, for example, COOP, 2 points, Microsoft, integrated systems, for example. So when you pick one of the courses that are coded with COOP, it actually means that the firm listed in the heading will become a recruiter from that that firm will be coming to teach you how they operate in that field. So whether it's Microsoft or others, we work with more than 2,800 firms, and these firms basically, and these courses represent more than 35 sectors in total. And each semester, you'll find a minimum of 200 courses for you to learn. So imagine, as you as student, you can, starting from your second year, you can pick these courses. So for 6 semesters, if you pick one of these courses at least once, you will meet at least 6 recruiters by the time you graduate. Yes. So Alex said, what does the tuition fee for the pilotage program depend on? You showed a slide where the cost ranges from $9,000 to $18,750. Could you please provide me with details about the tuition fee for this program, the entrance exams required, the duration of the studies, and the certificates obtained upon graduation? Are students allowed to work in other European countries after completing the program? Nice question, Alex. So for the pilotage program, actually, the price does not range from 9,000 to 18. No, it's actually both of them. So the student has to pay the $9,000 for the theoretical courses, which is the fee of the university. But at the same time, the 8,750 euro fee is the fee of the flight academy with whom basically they will be doing their trainings. So like I said, it's actually a 4-year-long program. Students will be jogging between both theoretical and practical courses. The practical courses start in the second year though. And basically you'll be going to different areas to do your trainings. But at the same time, you'll be getting the PPL license and the ATPL license, which basically allows you to work as a pilot with all airlines except 2, which are the American Airlines and the British ones. For those 2, you just have to get more training hours, which is again doable. So for the fee, again, it has 2 fees, because one fee is the fee of the AFA Academy, the training academy. So it's their fee already, and the university's fee, which is $9,000. So that's when it comes to graduation. And yes, we have students who have been working in Europe, who have been working in different countries, in Gulf countries as well. And for the co-op programs, someone has asked if they are extra charge or not. No, they're actually free, and you can pick them by, as a student. So yeah. So now we're gonna talk about the international opportunities of the university. So since BEU has different branches around the world, and since BEU is an international university, of course, we're going to offer our students international opportunities. So other than the exchange program between the rest of the branches, we actually have the Erasmus Plus program. Since we are a university that is accredited both in Europe and in Australia, we're part of the Erasmus Plus program. Therefore, starting from your second year, students can apply for Erasmus and can go on exchange up to 1 year in Europe and Australia. And here's the thing: if you even land an internship while you're on exchange, let's say, when you come back, all your paperwork will be done by our Erasmus Plus office. So there is that. Also, for example, for students who will be graduating from the Faculty of Social Sciences, Economics, Administrative, and Social Sciences, like business, international trade and business, economics, and so on, or the Faculty of Architecture, these students have the right of getting a scholarship and going to BEU Berlin, study there for 1 more year, get their new diploma from there. And by the time they graduate from there, they'll be getting also a work permit that will last them for 18 months for them to find a job in the European Union. And of course, it's renewable once they land the job there. So that's the Dual Up program that we have at the university. Also, for example, remember the law program, the first program that had the TR sign? Then I said that the law program is 70% in Turkish and 30% in English. And actually, in Turkey, normally, if you don't hold the Turkish citizenship, you cannot practice law. So what we did for our international students, we actually have a partnership with the University of Kansas School of Law, where students will be, so after finishing the 4 years, they'll be going there to study one more year as if it's their master's degree in the University of Kansas School of Law. And once they're done with that year, they'll be studying for the bar exam, which is the bar exam of law at the United States to be able to practice law there. And once successfully taken, they'll be able to work in 5 different states, which are Wisconsin, New York, California, Washington, and Georgia. So guys, make no mistake, actually in the US, even if you study law there from scratch, normally only if you study in certain states, you can practice in more than 3 states. But in general, lawyers in the United States can only practice in 3 different states only. With this program, we offer you 5 states. So, so Misho said, can a student majoring in business administration take a second major based on personal interests such as game design? Yes, you can actually. Berlin 1-year program is like a master's degree. It's not a master's degree, actually. You're going to get a second bachelor after spending 1 year there. Does BU offer preparatory programs for students planning to study medicine or dentistry? Unfortunately, we don't. We don't offer any kind of foundation or preparatory program for these programs or any others, actually. Moving on, now we're going to talk about social life at the university. So again, like I said, we have more than 8,500 international students at the university. So we have lots of clubs, actually. Any program you have seen so far, it has its own club. And other than that, of course, we have entertainmental clubs. But when we talk about social life here at the university for international students, the first club that would pop is BISC, which is BAU International Student Comedy. Now, at our university, every community or all students from a certain citizenship are put in a certain WhatsApp group where they have their own representative they have elected to come up with events and to find people to help them at the same time. And then you'll basically BISC organizes a lot of events which are cultural. At the same time, they even have career events, entertainment. And here we're going to see some of the events that BISC has done throughout the years. So for example, Christmas party for those who celebrate it. You have Independence Days of each country. You have Iftar for Ramadan for those who celebrate that as well. You have here collecting things to help those who are in need. Orientation days, for example. Here you have Halloween as well. And here on the last picture, which is the International Day, which hopefully, I hope that we'll be able to watch the video together now. Yes, let me check if we can watch the, all right. Actually, I'll send you the link again of the International Day of last year. Yes. So here it is. Yeah, so that's the link for you to watch the video of the International Day, which is basically an event of an entire whole day event, basically, where all communities come and have their own stands, to have their own performances. Basically, each community tries to represent its country in the best way possible. And basically, it's a day for the students, actually. So now that we're pretty much almost done, actually, I would like to summarize what I've said for you. These are the points when I was a student that would actually matter to me. So, for example, why would you pick a university over another? For me, it's very simple. The university has to tick 4 boxes. So the first one, which is prestige. And by prestige, we're talking about its accreditations, we're talking about its ranking, and then language of instruction as well. So when it comes to that, BAU not only being ranked as within the first 200 young universities, and then it's one of the rarest universities actually to be accredited by the United Nations. So there is that. And then let's talk about technology. So we're in 2025. Of course, the university has to have a certain standards for technology. So when it comes to that, the best proof would be the future campus and its futuristic facilities. And then you also have the facilities of the programs such as medicine and dentistry. Let's not forget the hospitals of the universities. So there is that. And then you have global-wise, is this university global enough for me? So being a member of the BAU global family, this means that you'll actually benefit from that network. And just like just like students have exchange programs, our professors have ones have similar ones as well. Therefore, your professors would be international as well. Also, you have the Erasmus Plus program, and let's not forget the 8,500 international students already at the university, which is already a network itself. Social life, of course, is an important point that we should consider at the end of the day. So therefore, for that, Istanbul is actually the best city to have a social life. And then you have more than 80 clubs at the university, like I've mentioned, and trust me, you'll be still sightseeing when you're going from one campus to another. We actually even have our own boat shuttle that would take you from one campus to another campus. So for example, Mishu, you have asked about the business administration and then having a double major in game design, it was, I believe, or some communication program. You can actually go from the South campus to the Galata campus just by using BAU's boat. So there is that. How to apply? It's actually very easy since applications are already open. So you have the website over here. All you have to do is go pick the term that you want to apply for, which is 2025-2026 for next year, for the next academic year in September. Then you're going to pick whether it's an undergraduate or a graduate level. So graduate if you're applying for a master's or a PhD program, undergraduate if you're applying for a bachelor program, there's that. And then you just have to create an account and fill in all your personal information there according to your passport and add your documents. So if you are, Marianne said, I'm sorry, are there any specific dress code rules for female students due to Islamic traditions in Turkey? No, we do not have any dress codes here to neither women or men. Actually, Turkey, I would say, as a foreigner myself, I would say that Turkey is a very laïc country as well. So they do not put any religions, traditions in anything, So no, you don't have to worry about any Islamic traditions, actually. Yeah, so there's that. So if you're applying for an undergraduate program, the documents that are needed are your passport, your high school transcripts. If you're still 12-year grade or in your last year of high school, you could apply using your last year's first semester, basically the last transcript you have received. Or if you have already graduated, then go ahead and add your diploma. So optional, not required, but definitely recommended to boost your application, which are the English standardized exams. So you have the TOEFL IBT, you also have the Pearson PTE academic, and then you also have the Cambridge Advanced English exam. So if you score one of the results mentioned over here, you'll be exempt from the English proficiency exam, which you're supposed to take after registering at the university. If you don't have any of these exams, you'll just have to take the English proficiency exam at the university after registration. So if you're applying for master's or PhD, pretty much it's the same documents, but this time, other than your passport, it's your undergraduate transcript and undergraduate diploma. For master's, as you have seen, they have both Turkish programs and English programs. Therefore, if you're applying for a Turkish program, you'll need a TOMAR B2 certificate. Again, it's an option, it's not a requirement. So, and if you're applying for an English program, any English standardized tests would do, preferably the TOEFL IBT. If you get a minimum of 79, you'll be then exempt from the English proficiency exam. If you don't have any of these, you'll have to take then BAU's English or Turkish proficiency exam, depending on the language of instruction of the program that you have picked. So we're done. And if you have any questions, I would love to help you out. I'll leave this for you so you can have our details. We're pretty much everywhere, just like BAU. So please don't hesitate if you have any question to email us or to contact us through WhatsApp as well. And yeah, would you have any questions? I believe I have already answered them. What does the BAU language exam look like when it passes? Actually, before I answer your question, Pablo, I would like to talk about the admission process first. So for the admission process of the university, first of all, you apply online. If you get accepted, we send you a conditional acceptance letter, which has a certain deadline and says that basically you have to pay a deposit fee in order to secure your spot at the university. Once you pay that fee and you send us your receipt, and once it is received by the university, we'll be sending you an official acceptance letter, which literally will state the registration period. The registration period in general starts from the first of July until the 15th of September. So between these dates, you just have to come as a student and register, bringing along all your original documents, the one that you have applied with. And after registering, that's when you take the English exam. So the English exam comes after registering. After registering, yes. So how does it look like? Actually, I'll send you right away to BAU sample English exams. Here they are. So here they are. The passing grade, though, is different from one program to another. To find out exactly, for example, which documents, which English standardized exams are needed, or to be exempt from this exam, or how much you're supposed to score, again, I'm going to share that page with you as well. Right here. Yes. So Pablo answered yes. Yarina said, what is the average cost of food for a student in Istanbul? For example, how much does a meal cost at a student cafeteria or a budget-friendly cafe? Actually, when it comes to budget-friendly cafes, you can actually find a meal that would so if $10 would be, I would say you could in a friendly, let's say, student-friendly place, you'll find it even for $5 or even less. It depends on where you're gonna eat it and how fancy you want the place to be. So you can actually find less than that, and you can find more expensive ones as well.
I'm sorry. Can you just while you're answering the question, just display them from the question chat in order not to go back to the main screen every time. So in the chat, you can see the second column, the questions, and there you search for the question you didn't answer and just press display button, and this question will be on the screen. And so on.
Okay, all right, thank you. So we answered Berlin 1-year program is like a master's degree. So everyone can see the pop-up? For Berlin, the 1-year program, like I said, it's not a master's program. It's actually a way to get your second bachelor degree. So there's that. We answered the rest. Yes. So we also answered this one saying yes, they can major both in business and game design and actually travel between the campus to the other campus using BAU's boat shuttle. Are there any specific dress code rule for female students due to Islamic traditions in Turkey? No, actually, there isn't such a thing when of Islamic traditions here in Turkey. As a foreigner, you wouldn't even notice it, actually. So I'm myself a foreigner who has been living here for 6 years. There's no dress code, not in the university or outside. So there's that. The next question is, which undergraduate programs at BAU have recently become the most popular among international students? So here, definitely, other than medicine, dentistry, and pharmacy have always been the popular programs. But other than them, the new ones would be this year, definitely architecture, communication. So for example, communication design, for example, visual communication design would be one. You also find, let's say, energy systems engineering, AI engineering, computer, software, definitely. These are always popular. Political science program, international relations as well. There's also the architecture faculty that is very popular as well, and we are proud of that. Yeah, so these are the programs that are the most popular. Can a student earn a cybersecurity certification alongside their degree through their university programs? Actually, here's the thing. So if you're studying at BAU, at the same time, we do have an institution that gives certifications in different areas. So and all students can actually access it and basically check which certifications are available at the time, and you can actually apply for it then. At that time, you might not be able to find cybersecurity, but you might find something else. Maybe you'll find it later. So the answer would be yes to this question as well. Okay. So is it necessary for a student to purchase separate health insurance for everyday medical needs? We live in Turkey. Actually, so for international students, you're going to get a health insurance anyway in order to apply for the residence permit, student residence permit to stay legally in Turkey. But for the health insurance, you can actually get cheap ones, which if you don't get sick and so on, for example, only to get the student's residence permit. But if you can get a good health insurance that would cover pretty much everything. It depends on how high your budget is. You just have to go to the insurance companies and ask for whatever you need. So that's for the health insurance. What does the cinema and television program at BAU include? What topics and areas are covered? Is it possible to choose a specialization such as directing, screenwriting, or cinematography? Is the program more focused on theory or practical experience? Actually, that's a good question. So for that, hold on. Yes. Yes, so right here, I'll be actually sharing with you a link where you'll be finding exactly what courses you'll be taking in each semester of each year. Yes, so I'm sharing it right now. There it is. So here you'll find exactly what you'll be studying each semester, the classes, and so on. Okay, is the program more focused on theory or practical experience? I would say definitely practical experience. Our students are actually very involved when it comes to the cinema and television program, and they do pretty much a lot of things. And even by the time you go to the campus, you'll find yourself areas where students practice at. So there is that, or yeah. So are students discounts available for entertainment ensembles such as cinemas, museums, cultural events for BAU students? Of course, if you're a student at Istanbul, you're going to get a student touristic card, which basically allows you to have more discounts compared to the rest of the tourists. But at the same time, as a BAU student, we through BISC, the club that I talked about, we actually always try to find the different discounts around the campuses so that students will find many, such as in restaurants, for example. It could be a VR playground area, event area, museum. So we have many collaborations, let's say. Can the student, we answered this one, okay. This one as well. This one as well. So what is the average cost of food for Istanbul, for a student in Istanbul? For example, how much does a meal cost at a student cafeteria or a budget-friendly cafe? Again, for this question, I said it could cost $5, even less, and it could be more if it's not a budget-friendly cafe. It depends where you are eating. Yeah, but there are all sorts of restaurants at BAU. So what does this BAU language exam look like when it passes? I've actually shared with you the link. I hope you got it, Pablo. If you didn't, please let me know. Marianne, we answered this one. Yeah, I believe this one as well has been answered. Okay. What is the approximate monthly living cost for students in Istanbul, including rent, food, transportation, and basic expenses? So rent, actually, it's different from is different. Why? Because all of our campuses are actually in the center of the city of Istanbul or in Beşiktaş or whatsoever. That's why living close to the campuses might be expensive. However, the further you go, the less expensive it is. So, for example, I would say that including rent, food, and by rent here, we're talking about some private flat or private apartment. We're not talking about any dormitories outside here in Turkey. So I would say around $600 to from $600, let's say, in order to live comfortably, let's say. So if a student plans to live in Istanbul long term, is it possible to attend Turkish language courses for free or at a discounted rate through the university? Actually, at the university, we do offer our own Turkish classes, but if you're going to study an undergraduate program, they will be already included in your curriculum. You'll find it in the first semester or the second. You'll be taking the basics of the Turkish language. But other than that, once you're a student, you can always go to our Turkish preparatory prep and ask them. So there's that. Does the university offer double degree programs with universities in the US or Germany for students majoring international relations? Actually, for international relations or politics, yeah, we do have the DUALA program in Germany. It's one of the programs that is listed for the DUALA program that I showed you when we were doing the presentation. So after the 4 years program, the 4 years of study, they can actually go to BU Berlin, stay there for 1 year, get their second diploma, and at the same time, they'll be able to get a work permit there in order to work in the European Union. If a student is enrolled in an English taught program, is it still necessary to pass a Turkish language exam for document processing? No. If your program is in English, you'll be only taking an English exam. It doesn't make sense to take a Turkish one. What are the requirements for receiving a tuition discount for international students? Can you provide more details? I believe we have already talked about this when it comes to scholarships. There are a few programs that qualify up to a 30% scholarship, but for the rest, we have a grant, which is what is called an Academic Achievement Award, given after at least spending 1 year at the university to first and second working students. So there is that. We already talked about that. Hi, is it okay? This one as well we answered. So we have different branches and at the same time we have different campuses in Istanbul. So there's that. Can students enrolled in English taught programs work without knowing Turkish? More generally, what are the living conditions like in Istanbul for students who do not speak Turkish? Actually, here's the thing. So for international students, actually, as long as you speak the languages, you have opportunities to work here, whether in call centers, whether in better jobs, in public relations agencies, digital marketing agencies, educational agencies. There are pretty much a lot of options. But to get a better job, let's say, or perhaps something in your major, it is best to know Turkish. By the end of your time or your studies, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to speak Turkish by then. You just have to embrace the Turkish culture and at the same time make friends. So there is that. What are the restrictions on the number of working hours for international students in Turkey? So actually, when it comes to this, it has been changing. So it's therefore it's different. However, in a month, let's say, it's actually different. So it wouldn't be right for me to say, but for a month, if we're talking about a part-time job for undergraduate students, you could get up to 160 hours, let's say. All right. What are the distance learning programs? Can you take them while studying at a university in another country? So I already answered this question. For distance learning programs, which are only, by the way, master's programs, yes, that's the goal for you to take them while studying in another country. Is it possible to work on the BAU campus during studies, for example, at the library or at a department office? Yes, actually, we do offer assistantship positions, either in faculties or any department at the university, starting from our own office, the international office. We already have pretty much 25 student assistants here, and then the Erasmus offices as well have their own assistants. The financial unit has its own assistants, student affairs, and so on. So you'll find pretty much good opportunity to work at the university. Is it easy for Ukrainian students to adapt to life in Turkey? Are there any special orientation programs, language courses, or support services to help new students settle in? Actually, we do have orientation events which are given to all students, no matter where they're coming from. But I believe Turkey is a very easy place to adapt to, actually, because it's very open-minded, and you'll find people from all cultures. Basically, it's like a salad pot here in Turkey. So I believe you won't have any struggles when it comes to adapting. And like I said, we do have orientation programs. And when it comes to language courses for the Turkish language, they will be already within your curriculum when you're studying. Yes. But if you're looking for support, we always have a psychological counseling unit. There's that. And then we also have BISC as well. So that's the goal of BISC, which is the voice of all students. So if you ever have any problem, if you have any need, there's any need, you can always reach out to BISC. Okay, moving on. Can undergraduate students spend the semester at BAU global campuses in the US without additional tuition fees? Is there a program similar to Erasmus among BAU campuses? Yes, actually we do. So for example, the branch in the US is the only branch that you can go to starting from your first year as an exchange student, while the rest, like Germany, Cyprus, and the rest, you can go there after your first year, so starting from your second year. And there's no additional costs for it. So we already answered this. What are the rules regarding retaking exams or courses at BAU if a student receives an unsatisfactory grade? So for that, actually, each faculty has different rules, and each professor at the start of each course, they'll be sharing the syllabus with you. The passing grades, how to retake an exam, what's the criteria in order for you to retake an exam. But for you to retake an entire course, your GPA has to be below C, for example. Your grades has to be below C. Your GPA has to be below 2. So there are a few criteria that vary from one faculty to another, which will be announced to you when you enter each class, so that you'll know what to do when it comes to retake exams or taking a course. By the way, we also offer summer classes for those, summer school, let's say, for those who are interested in taking them. Does BAU assist Ukrainian students with the student visa application process? What documents are required? So good question, actually. So when you apply for the university and you get accepted, and after you pay your deposit fee and receive the official acceptance letter, then you can go ahead and apply for the visa. When you apply for the visa, though, you just have to inform us that you've got an appointment, for example. So that we'll be sending a visa support letter both to you and the embassy that you're applying through, and we'll be also sending them the official acceptance letter to confirm that you are one of our prospective students. So yeah. Other than that, if there are any extra documents that are required, generally these are the ones that are required from the university. However, from the students, they might require some others. Therefore, you need to ask the embassy for the required documents for the visa application process. There's that. Let's see. I'm interested in the game design program. What documents are required for admission? What is the tuition fee? Do students work on creating their own games during their studies? Who teaches in this program? Are the instructors connected to the gaming industry? Are the representatives from well-known gaming companies invited for lectures or workshops? Good question, actually. So for the communication faculty, remember I told you that we have what is it called, incubators and pretty much the floor before the last floor. But so these incubators, actually, you can find our, I believe it's called Bug Hub or something like that. So this one is for companies who are in the gaming industry, actually. So we have our own firm there, actually, that is already operating. And when it comes to that, actually, yes, there's a whole hands-on experience. Hands-on experience basically there. You create your own games definitely during your studies, the teachers as well. So here's what you can do to find out all of these, actually, because when it comes to whether we invite well-known gaming companies or not, like I said, they might not invite it in one course, but again, you have the career centers courses, so you'll find courses given by directly gaming companies, for example. So you can go ahead and have these courses, for example, but you'll definitely going to have lectures and workshops about it anyways. So game design, I'll be sending you the link as well for you to find the game design program and to find out exactly what you'll be studying each semester, which is right here, the digital game design program. And here you go, it's been sent. So what type of housing options are available for BAU students in Istanbul? Are there dormitories specifically for international students? If not, what is the rental housing situation like? And are there specifics for foreign students? So when it comes to housing options, like I said, at the university, we only offer dorms in the future campus, which is the campus of students who have failed in the English exam or students who need to study English more before they start their programs. So for housing options, actually, we do have agreements with dormitories that are pretty much around all of our campuses. So we have this Excel sheet in which we feel that we share with students when they before they come register or by the time they pay their deposit fees. And you'll find all the details of each dormitory, the location, where it's at, the price, and the price, of course, varies from one dormitory to another because some of them offer highly extravagant facilities, while others are just a place for you to sleep and have some breakfast, perhaps. It depends on what the dormitory offers as well, whether you're sharing with more than one person, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The more you're sharing, it's the less expensive it is. So there is that. But however, if you prefer to rent your own flat or your own house, there's an app, or at the same time, it's also a website that we use here in Turkey in order to find rentals. I'll be sharing it as well. It's called Sahibinden. I'll be sharing it as well in the chat as I'm speaking. So that's pretty much the one that is best. Well, when it comes to the dormitories, for example, we have one in Ortaköy. I mean, by have one, I mean I have an agreement. We have an agreement with one in Ortaköy. So that one holds more international students, foreigner students basically. For the rest, I'm not pretty sure whether it's just foreigners only or not. So there is that. What else? Oh. Okay, so someone said, I'm currently in my second year at Kyiv National University of Construction and Architecture, and I'm interested in continuing my studies in the architecture programs at BAU. Could you please let me know if it's possible to transfer to BAU? I would appreciate it if you could provide details about the transfer requirements, necessary documents, application deadlines, and whether previously completed credits can be recognized or not. Good question. So for the transfer process, actually, it's done differently at BAU. So when you first of all, you just have to apply, and then you'll be accepted as a freshman, which means as if you're going to start from the beginning, the architecture program. And then once you finish your registration and you take your English exam, you have access to the student portal, you'll have to upload then your university transcripts. Make sure to have them in English as well, so that the faculty will then evaluate them, and they will then let you know in which grade or class you'll be starting, in which courses have been transferred and which couldn't have been, if that makes sense to you. So does BAU have a startup accelerator for students interested in launching their own businesses We do have clubs who do this. We do have some accelerators, yes, but um, but I'm not entirely sure how to answer this question actually. So Julia, I'm sorry. What else? Does this university assist students in applying for international research grants? So for that, actually, we do help when it comes to finding internship opportunities, part-time or full-time jobs. But for research grants, actually, some students work collaboratively with their professors on that. But university in general, unfortunately, no. However, our university is very keen when it comes to research. Therefore, you'll even find professors going with students to competitions and so on and getting grants as well. So Timur, I hope I was able to answer your question. How is the student support organized for those who wish to begin research activities as early as their first year? Now, it depends on what the program you're studying, you'll be studying actually, in order for us to give you the support or to inform you about the kind of support that we'll be giving you. But in general, whether if you needed the labs or whether if you needed a professor, actually, professors from the first day they will be informing you about their office hours, during which you can always visit them and ask any questions you might have. Yeah, so there's that. If I studied economics during my bachelor's degree but want to apply for a data science program, would I need to complete any prerequisite courses or pass additional exams? So for the data science program, are you talking about a master's program or are we talking about another bachelor? Because if we're talking about a master's program, some programs, especially if it's an engineering program, they do have sometimes you might need to have an engineering background or a scientific background. So, however, if we're talking about a bachelor program, yes, you can still apply even if you had your first bachelor in economics. If it's a master's program, though, uh, I will definitely advise you to apply for the master's so that you can get the result from the admission specialist from the graduate department, which would be best. And especially since applications are free and it would only take 3 minutes, please go ahead and do it to find out. Anything else? Are actual film shoots conducted during the program? Do students participate in creating short films, TV series, or media projects? Yes, actually, they have been creating podcasts. They have been creating some TV shows, even some modeling TV shows, short films, definitely, yes. So they do have actual film shootings conducted in the film and cinema program. How has recent inflation in Turkey affected the cost of living for students? How often do housing and food prices change? Could inflation potentially affect tuition fees during the study period? Sergey, thank you for this question. Actually, when it comes to the fees of your fees, actually, so even let's say if next year the university changes the prices, these prices will be changed for the newcomers and not the students who are already studying at the university. So your price or your tuition fee is stable. It doesn't change. It doesn't vary. Okay. But when it comes to inflation, how does it affect international students? So I myself, I came in 2019 as a student. So the with the inflation, everything, all the prices have changes pretty much. But at the same time, for internationals, we how can I say? So we always get euros or dollars, and then we exchange them to Turkish liras. So inflation has changed the price of many things, and many things may have become expensive. But at the same time, with the inflation, the rate of the currencies uh, the rate has become more. Therefore, $100 before used to make only 570. Now it makes 3,000 something. So you can still afford pretty much with 100,000 the same things that you used to with $100 the same thing that you used to afford 5 years ago in $100. If that makes sense. For foreigners, it didn't really change a lot, but for Turkish people, it did. Okay. Where can students complete internships in Istanbul, considering local and international companies and industries? Now, for internships, though, some programs have required internships. Therefore, the university helps you or the career center helps you. But other than that, when it comes to internships, you can actually have it in local companies. You can have it in international companies. But like I said, if it's a required one, your faculty has to approve of it first. If it's not a required one, you can do it anywhere you want, actually. Is it possible to change a major after the first year without losing a year of studies? It depends which program you will want to transfer to. Some programs we cannot accept transfer applications to some programs, even though you're a student at the university. For others, we might. But if you don't want to use an entire year, it means that you'll be pretty much changing your major from one faculty to the same faculty. Like, for example, business administration, international trade and business, which have pretty much similar courses in their first years. So that will only happen if these two majors that you're picking have similar courses in their first years. Does the university provide recommendations or a list of verified real estate agents to help students find housing? While we do not work with agents when it comes to housing, we do have, like I said, a partnership with different dormitories around the campuses for you to stay there. But if you're looking for a separate flat, actually for all Turkey, the website that I sent, which is sahibinden.com, is the best website to find a house and chat with the owner or the real estate agency that is renting it. If a student temporarily suspends their studies for personal reasons, can they resume later without losing their scholarship status? Yes, you can always freeze your semester. You just have to pay attention to the freezing period, because you have freezing periods in order to freeze your semester. So there's that. Does BAU offer preparatory programs for for students planning to study medicine and dentistry? Already answered that. No, the answer was a no. We do not offer any kind of foundation or preparatory programs for any course. Are these core programs extra charge or not? No. Yes, we have already answered. So it has two fees, which is this and this, and this one is in euros. The 18,750 is in euros, not dollars, which is the fee for the training fee of the AFA Training Academy. The $9,000 is for the theoretical courses at the university. It's a 4-year-long program, we said, in English 100%. Students will be getting both ATPL and PPL licenses, which will allow them to work in all Europe and all around the world except for US and England. For them, you'll need to have more flight hours. Through our programs, you'll finish pretty much 250. You'll need more to get other license for those, which is also doable. Am I correct in understanding that the program is taught in English? If it's an undergraduate program, most of the programs are in English. Most probably you are correct. If it's in Turkish, next to it, you should have seen the TR sign. If there's the TR sign, it means it's Turkish. If not, it's 100% in English. Any restrictions for specifics for foreign applicants from outside the EU? No, as we said. Can you tell us more about scholarships to reduce tuition fees and conditions for foreigners? I think we have already been through that. Yeah, I believe we have answered all questions. Yes. You're more than welcome.
All right, so Ines, thank you very much for the presentation and answering all of the questions. Hope it didn't tire you.
Thank you very much.